A lot to cover today, you guys.
Go for it, Roske.
We got a lot to cover today. So there are four, count them four, not one but two, not three, but four big things going on tonight. First, we have the big debate in Cleveland. All the candidates, we've been talking about that as well. Second big thing happening tonight. Jon Stewart's last broadcast is tonight.
Huge.
If you read today, Courtney Crowder wrote an article for the Register that I'm in a little bit. Talks about, whether you think he's too far to the left or what, it's going to leave a big gap. And I am stunned that he's actually stepping down.
Well, it's so much different than what he did before. Do you remember his first venture into the talk show arena? It was not good.
Yeah.
But then he just found his niche.
Yeah.
And then he ran with it.
Yeah, he will definitely be missed. But I mean, he's been on a long time. There comes a time
16
when
years, 2,600 900
Yeah.
So that's tonight. Check that out. Louis C.K. was on last night.
Like, I'm going to take some time off.
Well, he actually said it started out I was sarcastic. He goes, now I just feel bitter. And he goes, anyway. The third cool thing happening tonight, boy, folks, this is not just go see Jackie in Spamalot if you haven't.
Sweet.
It is amazing. I went. It was fun. It was great. But you are incredible in this show.
I'll pay you later. Thank you.
No, I mean seriously. If you haven't seen Spamalot, check it out. But the fourth thing going on tonight, let's hope you've seen Spamalot already or go tomorrow. Gavin DeGraw's in town with Shania Twain tonight. He's doing a Facebook chat at 4:30. He actually he emailed last night saying he loves Des Moines. He actually loves Fong's Pizza of all things. I don't know, Fong's Pizza. They must have some really good press.
It's good pizza.
It's fun.
But they've got a lot of people saying positive things about them. So they have the right people in place. Yeah.
It's amazing. But anyway, so those are the four things going on. So let's now talk about the politics part of those four things. The big debate is tonight. We're going to show, obviously, center stage right now is Donald Trump. He's the highest in the polls. And, it's all numbers. The people polling the lowest, like the brand new candidate, Governor John Kasich, they're at the edges, but Trump will be in every shot. He's in the middle. Donald Trump, not always known for humbleness or subtlety.
What?
When they talk to him. So I thought we'd show this little clip. This is, he had a picnic a week and a half ago in Oskaloosa, and this is from the press conference afterward. The person sitting to my right asked him what he was going to do about debate prep, and here's what he had to say.
What would you hope to accomplish in the first debate, Mr. Trump?
I don't know. It's a very interesting thing. So they have the debates coming up. I'm by far number one, so I'm going to be there, much to the chagrin of many people. But I'm not a debater. I produce jobs. I never did that before. I never stood at a podium and debated a large number of people. And from what I heard, every one of them is going to come at me. I watch the shows like you do, and they'll say, oh, hit Trump and hit Trump. I'm saying, what is this? For 2 hours I'm going to be like in the lion's den. But I'm not, I don't do that for a living. I built a great company. I've had tremendous success. I've gone to the best school, I was good at everything I've done. But again, I'm standing at a podium, and I hear everybody saying how good I'm going to be in the debates. I don't know if I'm going to be good. I don't know. I have no idea. I've never done it before. Politicians do it every night, but they don't produce jobs. They don't do a lot of things. But, I look forward to the debates, but I've never done it before. It's a totally unique experience. I see where they say, well, Jeb Bush hasn't been on the stage in 8 years. Well, I haven't been on the stage my whole life. Nobody ever says that.
Are you doing any debate training?
I want to be honest. I have to be. I am who I am. And so you could say training. What training? And maybe it's a mistake. Maybe it's not a mistake. Who knows? I'm a very honorable person. I'm an honest person. These politicians, they don't make a statement. Look at Jeb as an example. They ask him, is Iraq a good thing or bad? Took him 5 days to give an answer, right? Look at Hillary with her answer on the emails. She still doesn't understand it. They go in and see They go in and see their local whoever, their counselors, okay, their coaches, their pollsters. They all have pollsters. They have a pollster where they aren't allowed to say anything without the approval of the pollster. And they pay these guys hundreds of thousands and even millions of dollars. I don't want a pollster. And you know what? If my message isn't getting across, that's okay. It's all right. I'll, go into the sunset, hopefully have a good life. I'm doing this because I want to make our country great. I know how to do it. So I don't have a pollster saying, oh, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that. I just say what has to be said.
Who's giving you policy advice, and can you
Well, I
elaborate?
have a lot of policy advice, and I get a lot of it from reading lots of newspapers and seeing things on the various shows. I mean, I see what's happening. There's so many things that I disagree with, where it's so much common sense. And remember about policy, it changes every week. You have countries where you want to do one thing, and then a new leader takes over, it's a totally different thing. It changes all the time.
Well, he's good. Those sound clips are awesome, and he's a great person for providing those. But, Donald, if you're going to a picnic, you need to dress in Carhartt. Go to GL Clothing, see Frank, and he'll get you outfitted, okay?
Get you in the proper attire.
Get you in the proper attire in Iowa.
I think I'm like most Americans. I'm not able to watch tonight because of the show, but I want to watch what comes out of that man's mouth because you don't know what's going to happen. And that's what I think the spectacle is going to be.
It's the Howard Stern mentality. Remember, you used to say half the people tune in because they want to listen to you. The other half hates you but can't not tune into you because they need to hear what you're going to say. You know, a lot of people, Rick Klein has this great write-up. If you're not familiar with all the candidates, ABC News' Rick Klein put out this great little thing, little handicaps for each candidate. The takeaway he wrote about Trump is, don't poke the bear. You know, the term they're using, he's angry as a rattlesnake at the dentist, that if you poke him, he's going to poke back. He mentioned that in that same press conference, he's not looking to go out against anybody, but if someone goes after him, he will. And one of the reasons that Trump is resonating is because nobody can say he's bought and paid for. It's one of the reasons he's so loose in front of a microphone, because he ultimately doesn't care. He's not running for a job he needs or necessarily even wants.
He doesn't answer anybody but himself.
Yeah, and you know, while that clip was running, Jackie makes an excellent point. Yeah, he does take little long answers. So the rules tonight, it's on Fox Television. It airs here starting at 8 o'clock. They're going to rerun it, though, so if you can't sleep tonight, it'll be rerunning. I believe the rerun starts at 11 o'clock after Hannity. It's going to be a 2-hour thing. There's 10 candidates. They're trying to keep it equal. Even John Kasich should get about as much time as Donald Trump. Each candidate will get around 10 minutes of camera time, they're hoping. Each candidate gets a minute to answer the question from the moderator, and then they get 30 seconds of rebuttal. So yeah, he's going to have to bring it in a little bit.
I know he's doing his thing and whatnot, but it's like, confine those answers because you're not going to be able to talk that long.
One of the things that a lot of the folks we're going to be talking about tonight is the current Iranian nuclear deal.
Right.
She's not a presidential candidate, but just last week, the Iowa Democrat Party, Dr. Andy McGuire, who's been on the show with us, she hosted the Polk County Women's event, and I invited Tulsi Gabbard to be the speaker at that. Here is me chatting with Tulsi Gabbard, her thoughts the Iranian nuclear deal. Let's take a look.
It's clear that our objective must be to make sure that Iran does not develop or acquire a nuclear weapon. I am still looking very closely at this deal. I have not made a decision yet because I think it's important that we make sure politicians rise above partisan politics. Don't play politics with a deal that has such great consequences. Look at the details, study the details, ask the hard questions, but also look at the alternatives. For people who are saying that this is not a good deal, what are we facing then? What are the alternative scenarios? And we've got to give each of these an equal amount of critical objective study. Congress has a deadline of September 18th to vote on it, and I'll be carefully examining all of those details.
Now, just yesterday, President Obama gave a huge press conference where he went into detail about all the different sticking points, and he's, trying to garner Democrat support. The way the Iranian nuclear deal works right now, obviously it's been negotiated. Now the side deals, quote unquote, are coming out into the light, and we're finding out more about that. But in September, as she just mentioned, Congress gets a look at this. And what they can do is they can say, okay, we don't like this. Now, we chatted on an earlier episode. It's not a treaty. It's more of an executive action. However, the president has decided to let Congress have their say in what's going on. The trick about it is this, though. If Congress says, no, we don't like that, they send it back, President Obama can veto their disagreement of it. Okay. And then to override a veto, they'd need a 2/3 majority, which not many people think that they could get. So unless there's a big upheaval right now, the Iranian nuclear deal probably will stand the way it is. Again, tonight is the big debate. Check it out. You've got everybody will be on the stage. If you want to see the earlier debate, they're calling it the happy hour debate. We have 17 candidates. The 7 who didn't make the top cut.
Or the JV squad, as Brian Duffy referred to it as.
JV squad. There's some good candidates. I mean, and that's the thing. Everyone says, who are you going to be picking as your running mate? You've got 17 people, all very capable. It's not a I actually take personal offense when people call it a clown car, because you've got sitting governors, senators, people with real resumes to run for the job.
Geez, I've been impressed by him, and I mean, there's some good people down there, you know.
Bobby Jindal's an interesting candidate. Obviously, been to my house, had a whole big sit down with him for the show, and yeah, he's. Oh, we're out of time. Anyway, Roske on Politics. Check out the debate tonight. We'll talk more next week.
Your show's on
this Sunday. You'll see more of that interview with Tulsi Gabbard. You'll also see me sit down with Lindsey Graham, who is on the show tonight. I sat down with him about the Iranian nuclear deal, and you'll also see more with John Kasich